The military secrets are in fact hiding the shape of the land we live in which we are not allowed to see except in planned trips, on planned itineraries, with trained guides who will tell us only what they have been taught to tell us. Until the division that the Earth suffered when the new continents appeared, that is, the American ones and Australia, the Earth, as the Bible writes, was still in one place. Many manuscripts, at this time even modern science, admit that in extremely ancient times the Earth formed a single continent that was called Pangaea. There are some reconstructions based on old maps of this ancient continent which in turn was also bathed by the majestic waters of the ocean river. I guess many of you have heard about the famous Ica stones that paint another history of mankind. Well, even here the ancient people did not forget to give in the smallest detail the land divided into continents. On each piece of land is drawn what was most important in theirs, such as houses, forests, strange races of people, unknown animals, landforms, but also the wonderful river ocean. Kobayashi's map is 1,000 years old and was found in Honolulu in a Buddhist temple by a renowned Japanese surgeon. It got its discoverer's name. Anyone who looks at this piece of paper on which messy geometric shapes are drawn in black and white would understand neither what it represents, nor why it is so important, nor why it has been so carefully preserved by Buddhist monks. Well, I associated what the myth says with this map and I discovered another piece of evidence that attests to the flat shape of the Earth. In the Essene manuscripts of Nag Hammadi entitled On the Origins of the World it is written, "Then Justice created Pradesh. Paradise is wonderful and is beyond the circuit of the moon and the circuit of the sun, on the lands of happiness, which are east of the stone lands." The place that is beyond the circuit of the moon and the circuit of the sun is the place beyond the ice circle in the southern hemisphere. This place is the real world. It is the place that mirrored and created virtuality. Once you understand what the people of antiquity wrote, the map makes sense and you understand what was represented there. In Houston George Bush International Airport, Terminal A, Australia, is one of the most beautiful representations of the flat Earth. It has been put by the elite under the blind eyes of the millions of people who go there at least once in their lives but do not notice anything because the matrix does not allow them to see reality. Starting from the inside of the figure we have in the middle of the continents the tree of life that marks the center of the Earth, the North Pole, Axis Mundi. Above it is the dome or dome that covers the entire Earth, and around the continents are the southern polar circles outside which there are other lands, as shown by the famous map of Kobayashi. Another representation of the flat Earth is also in Australia and Sydney's Darling Park. This time the Earth is represented in the form of a lake in which you can see the effects of the water where the continents are in the tree of life that marks the northern center of the Earth. The dome is the sky itself, and the southern polar circle is its extremity, the place where this world ends. The flat floor is also represented by the clock that is in the large entrance hall, and the signs of Freemasonry abound in all corners. Singapore Changi Airport is a miniature of the flat Earth. Absolutely all this area of 1,300 hectares, of which 870 were stolen from the sea, is covered by a dome. It is crossed by dozens of meridians, and the surface is maintained by a large metal net arranged as the latitude and longitude of the Earth. Of the two Masonic columns, Boaz and Jachin, the airport was endowed only with one that is outside or at the top of which the sun reigns, so revered by the elite. Under the dome, right in the middle of it, instead of the tree of life, flows a stream of water that comes from the top that symbolizes the North Pole, flowing to the bottom, that symbolizes the South Pole. The South Pole is fenced by a wall that prevents water from leaking, which symbolizes the ice barrier that keeps water on the ground flat. A strange representation of a watch, even entitled "The Clock," represents the tree of life without life, surrounded by a belt on which time is marked. After many centuries of waiting, an ancient map with unique features was finally exposed to the public in the format desired by the creator. It is about the map of Urbano Monti, an Italian from Milan who lived between 1544 to 1613. This map is one of the largest ancient maps known. It measures 9 square meters and is made as a square with a side of 3 meters each. It was collected in 1587 by the David Rumsey Map Center of Stanford University. At that time, G. Salim Muhammad, custodian of the David Rumsey Map Center, said of this masterpiece, "It is a veritable jewel of cartographic manuscripts." Asked how much this map would cost, he replied that the amount could not be expressed in numbers because such works of art are rare. In the library in Boston there is a copy of an ancient map that represents the flat Earth. The map was copied from the old model in 1892 and was part of a project of an English college. On its edge is written the exact date when it was made, April 10, 1892. It is registered with number 6, and below it is its number, the map with the number 773 from April 10, 1892. The question would be, why does one of America's largest libraries have a registered map of the flat Earth if it doesn't exist? Many say that these maps are drawn in this way because they represent the Earth in a straight line. I say the same about the different logos and coats of arms of different institutions, in which the Earth is represented in this way. Not true. This is another excuse your mind finds to deny the truth before your eyes. On spherical Earth, the North Star located directly above the North Pole cannot be seen anywhere in the southern hemisphere of the Earth. In order to be seen from the southern hemisphere, the observer should look through the ground, and it should be transparent. Despite this, the North Star can be seen in the southern hemisphere of the Earth up to a latitude of 20 degrees, because only on flat Earth is this possible.